Hey guys, Merry Christmas, and I hope you all are doing well. I hope you got everything you wanted, and I hope you, most importantly, got time to spend with your family, friends, loved ones. Just hope it was good for you. As for me, it's been great. I've been spending time with the family the past couple of days, in fact. Got my brother and my sister and her husband came over yesterday, and then my other brother and his friend, current boyfriend actually, visited by today, but only for a little bit. And I have one more brother who is presently not here. He's up in Massachusetts with his wife and his two kids, who are hopefully having a good time as well. So, I saw pretty much the entire Rodney group down here, all in one house. It was nice. Now, as far as what this video is going to be, it's just me sharing some of myself, some of this good holiday stuff, and I just want to keep it nice and general, just, Christmas. For starters, I do want to give some thanks to some people who I haven't often thanked, people who've been part of my life, who, I often do the usual thing you'll hear, where I will thank the people who have directly helped the project. People, like, for instance, of course, MJ Gallagher, my editor and Patreon Knight of mine. I've got to thank the two other Patreon Knights, Matthew Caveat Zealot and Robin Berg, the new one. We've got a new Patreon Knight this month. It's awesome. Welcome, Robin. Thank you for supporting me. And of course, I got to thank my beta readers, Lucretia Zimmerman, aka White Mage Wonders, Ina Fetzlosno. I can't say your name. I'm sorry, buddy. Ina Petznozlo, I think it was. I'm sorry. Ina Petznozlo. Okay, I think that's it. Mike Ficklin, of course, and Chantel, I think it's Kuso. I'm sorry, Channy. These four have offered to beta and have beta read segments. All this they did before Mo took over, but I still appreciate it. And they've been big supporters of the project. And of course, you got your other supporters of the project: Alan Kenny, Alex Main, and the guys at KuboCon. You got the guys at Nerdstradamus, who very kindly interviewed me a few months ago. It is very awesome. And their channel has been lit the past couple of months. You really should check them out. I gotta share them more. I have not properly shared enough of their late stuff. I'll be amending that in future. But they got some great content there. They gave me an interview, and it was awesome. So to Scott Swank and Corey Lombardo, a.k.a. Dr. Pants and Lambo of Nerdstradamus, much thanks. And of course, Alan and Alex, like I mentioned earlier, of KuboCon fame. You might know Alan as Steve, of course. That's a joke for you KuboCon fans. I hope I got that right. But I also want to thank people who have been part of my life, who have maybe not done as much to the project, but people who have, helped me as a person. And to that end, first, obviously my family and my adorable daughter. To my friend and my best friend right now, I would say, if there's such a thing as best friend. I kind of waffle on that personally, but that's another story. But definitely Jacob, my friend, my bro. He's been with me since high school, and we have some personality quirks that are a little bit different. There are some things we don't always see eye to eye on, but there's such a, at our core, we're almost the same person. So I can relate to that in a very personal way, and it's great to have somebody who is, who understands you. I do want to give another shout out to my oldest friend, Rainy Takai, who is my best online friend by sure, and is definitely in the top echelon of my friends at the very least. This girl, let me tell you, has known me since deep in the early days of high school, from a forum we used to frequent called Terra Earth, And everyone from that site, by the way, everyone from Terra Earth, just fantastic people. Some of my best friends I've ever had, and my fondest memories were the stuff we did together. Like we would write like fan fiction based on the characters from those games. I actually designed a few games around them, very bad ones in RPG Maker, but it was a great little community. But of all those people, and there's a lot of great folks from there. You know, Tay, Soul Blazer fan, Blade, Psychokind, Chicken, if you're still watching this. And then there's some folks who I haven't seen in ages. You know, Friedan, E-Flare, Boxelman, and there's so many. I mean, I could go on forever. Valerie Valens, and just there's like 40 active names in there. Axe Kazama Awaga, so many people. I don't want to miss a name because it feels like really tacky, but like you all were major parts of my life, and in most cases still are. But of all those people, of all those amazing people who have helped shape me as a person, I think Rainey definitely takes the cake. Rainey was there for me for some of my darkest moments, and I greatly appreciate it. Plus, like, she talks to me like all the time, so she's been very much aware of this project and has also been showing it some love. So many thanks, Rainey. Who else? My local crew. You know, I got my friend Brendan. The guys I played D&D with, Emma, Luke, Holly, Nathan, new guy. Cool. Josh, Sam, Eric, that whole crew. Many thanks to them. My ex-wife, mother of my child, still a great lady. Things didn't work out with us, but she's still a wonderful woman, and still sends me the finest memes. She'll laugh at that because she gets that. I once described, like, shortly after our divorce, I described myself as being meme-zoned, because, like, it was still kind of awkward after the divorce, but we still had to send each other memes, because, like, we knew what we would laugh at, so that's the first start. That's, like, the kernel of a healthy co-parenting situation, is if you can send each other memes. But yeah, to Stephanie, many thanks. And I got a lot of Facebook friends, too. A lot of Facebook friends who I met either through KupoCon or indirectly through KupoCon. And then I've got a batch I met through the live stream, back when I was with those guys. So just listing off names here. Nikki Anderson. Nikki, shouldn't give last name. I'm sorry. Nikki, she messaged me. I don't know if I've ever met you in person, Nikki, but I do know that when I was having a rough time a couple years ago, she just started sending me dog gifts to cheer me up, and that's how we started chatting. So that was really nice. Let's see, Heather and Alfred Berenze. Just as a forewarning, I call him Alfred for the rest of this clip. His name is Albert. I'm sorry. Berenze, I think it is. I'm sorry. I suck at names. And I probably shouldn't be doing last names. I'm sorry. But to you two, you guys know, I met you at KupoCon. We waited in line, and like that was like how our friendship started. And then we met on Facebook. And actually, in the very first KupoCon, the Big Palm, I was one of the judges of the fanfiction contest, along with Licorice All Sorts and some of the others from the staff who were just impeccable. Licorice All Sorts, by the way, amazing author, really talented, and she's a teacher, so she knew her stuff way better than I did. But we had rated Alfred's story, which got the third place prize, I think it was, and it's awesome. And if you ever get a chance to see the KupoCon Record Keeper, his story's in there. It's amazing. Give it a look. It's I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's and I'm sorry, the name escapes me at the moment. It's been a couple of years, but it's about a Final Fantasy 1 crew and a Final Fantasy 14 crew meeting together to do one of the endgame raids of 14, and it's freaking hilarious. Shoot, who else? So many names. Yes, I have a friend, Sarah, who I've been talking to, helped me through some stuff. Thank you, Sarah, for that. This is a very professional podcast right here. And just everybody else. I think I'll just leave it there. Everybody else From my former groups on Terra Earth or Facebook or the live stream. Just general love and thanks, Kayla, Amanda, just like all you guys, seriously. So now that we're done with that mess, and I'm sorry, I realize that was a long list of names essentially, but I just wanted to make sure y'all know no matter, again, how minuscule a role you might think you play in my life, all you guys, I greatly appreciate it. And of course, everybody here on this page, everybody watching this video, even if you're like, oh, I'm just like one of the 300 people on his page, it's like, no, seriously, the thing I don't like, and this is the way I think the silver lining to the whole numbers argument, and you really shouldn't judge the quality of your product based on these numbers and statistics, but I think the idea of just calling it numbers and statistics is kind of diminishing, because each and every one of you is somebody who has said, I like the gist of this guy's content, I want to support him, I want to see what he's up to. And each of you made that decision on a personal level. Every single one of you who are just, liking, commenting, just even just lurking or responding to polls. You're doing that because you have shown that level of support to me, and that's in the age of the internet. That's not something to turn your nose up at. There's a lot of content out there. There is a lot of stories. There's even other novelizations of Final Fantasy VIII. And you guys are following me, so and you, of course, you might be following all those other ones too, of course. But still, you're showing me that attention, and I appreciate it. I really do. This would sound, I wish I could make this sound more grandiose, but I mean, really, it's just as simple as that. I really appreciate what you guys do. So thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to all of you guys. So, now that list of names, as it were, is done, I can start talking some holiday stories. For this year, I got a lot of gifts that I've been super stoked about. I'm not super materialistic as an adult. I was more interested in my daughter having a good Christmas, and she got spoiled something fierce. But I got a few gifts for myself. My brother Tyler made me some handmade mala bead necklace and bracelets, which are awesome. I'm agnostic Buddhist, so I like having those for meditation. And also a meditation guidebook with DVD. I got a copy of The Art of War and a bunch of other Eastern philosophy books that I've been casually reading. Not super studious about them, but I like having, it's a beautiful book for one thing. And I like reading through that. Particularly Art of War, I feel might come in handy writing some of these battle scenes. But I also got some nice winter clothes, which, as a kid, you're like, ew, clothes, but as an adult, you're like, oh my god, warmth. And I got a painting. My brother did a painting. My brother Rob did a painting for me, which is awesome. He did a painting for all of us, and then showed us how to do that painting with you mix acrylic paint with this medium stuff, and then you kind of slosh it around on a canvas. Very abstract, but it was actually a lot of fun. So I also made one with, this is hilarious, this is absolutely true. One of the colors I chose just because of the name was Laguna Blue. So yeah, I went with that because I'm like, why not? And the funniest thing is, it's the one that shows up least on the canvas, but I don't care. So we did those, but by far the one that is the most immediately recognizable, I got my sister got me a freaking Echo Dot, the Amazon smart home thing. I'm like, yes, because she had it at her place, right? And the entire time I was there, I was being really, really obnoxious with it, turning on Spotify playlists, messing with her smart lights, just really abusing the poor robot. So she hooked me up, and it's greatly appreciated. And all I have is the bass unit and the speaker, but for me, that's all I would ever use it for. Because basically it's just kind of cool to have just a voice companion, and connecting it to my Spotify is pretty neat. So, by the way, this is not a paid plug, I promise. I'm super excited about that. I sound like a 5-year-old, but it's Christmas. I'm allowed to sound like a 5-year-old on Christmas, okay? I'm gonna show that little glimmer of myself at this point. But so no Christmas story for you guys. So back when we were kids, my dad came up with this idea of not Christmas dinner, but Christmas breakfast. And the idea was basically that my folks had been up all night wrapping presents for the 5 of us kids. Again, there were 5 kids that they had to wrap presents for. And because my mom was always exhausted afterwards, he said, "You know what? You've been working all day. We've been up all night. You're exhausted. I'm gonna make breakfast. Don't you cook?" And he made this immaculate spread of breakfast, which has slowly evolved into the yearly tradition for us, where we have this beautiful, massive, laid out assortment of breakfast foods in lieu of Christmas dinner. We don't do Christmas dinner. We do Christmas breakfast. Although, oddly enough, this year, because there were so many of us and we ended up meeting later in the day, we skipped that this year and did more of a deli buffet, sort of a Christmas lunch, if you will. So we've, between the 40 or so years of the tradition, we have finally come full circle. So I'm thinking next year we'll probably do Christmas dinner. But that's one little unique bit of my personal childhood and my personal Christmas story for you. So, what have I got coming down the pipeline? What are my projects for you? There's some noise in the other room. Well, I have got... I'm working on the edited next chapter. I might have it up by the morning. I hope I do. This Christmas season actually took a lot more out of me than I thought. I had been working... My goal was to release a new edited chapter, a new FF7 comparison series part, this video, the teaser from the second book, all at the same time. It'd be like, boom, here's Christmas. But to be honest, there was a lot that went into this, and it's tricky. It's always tricky to coordinate Christmas. It's always tricky to coordinate Christmas when you've got 2 different parents doing 2 different sources for your same kid, and then having to sort of work out your family reunion type thing around it. So I got a little burnt out. I apologize. And I know there were a couple of days this week where I didn't even respond at all or have anything posted. And I'm sorry about that. I was hoping I would be able to get some lenience on the count of it being the holidays. I promise to come burning right back into it. And my goal is to have the chapter and the FF7 comparison series episode out by tomorrow. But if not, and there is a possibility it might not get done, I will be sure to have them done at least definitely by the week's end. But I'm really gonna try. I'm really gonna try to get them out for you tomorrow, because you guys have been very patient with me, and I appreciate that. And for those of you, in case I kind of glossed over it, but for those of you who weren't aware, on Teaser Tuesday, I did in fact release a small excerpt from the first chapter, the rough draft, of course, of Book 2's first chapter. I think I said first chapter of Book 2's first chapter. I think I was redundant there, but I don't care. You know what I meant. And if you are a patron, sign up for my Patreon at any level. You'll get access to about half of the first one, and of course my knights have access to the full chapter. Now again, you will get access to the whole story when it's done. Pretty much all you're getting here by being a patron is early access. But I wanted to make sure that the folks who have been really kind, again, I got 3 guys who are tossing me $5 a month. That's nothing to turn your nose up at. I wanted to make sure they were on the front lines and getting access. But even if you can only donate $1, 1, it helps me out a lot, and 2, I always have stuff there for patrons that they can enjoy too. And in this case, you'll get to see about the first half or so of the first chapter, which is something like 1,500 words or so, I think. It's a lot. It's like 3.5 pages. And you'll see, even from the excerpt I posted, which is a decently sized excerpt, if I do say so myself, you get to see kind of the interactions, the way I'm playing with Win Hill and and Elone and all that stuff. I'm having a lot of fun writing this chapter. It's so much fun to go from writing like all these battle scenes, and now I have this nice, quiet, pastoral setting, with a little bit of a sad edge to it, because of course, the state of Windhill, it's not exactly roses right now, but it's definitely a nice change of pace. I've been having fun writing it. So, other projects, let's see, Twisted Fantasy, I kind of put that on hold for the holiday season, coming in January. I'll be bringing it back by knocking out Final Fantasies 4, 5, and 6. My Final Fantasy 8 Trivia Minute is again on indefinite hiatus. Sorry, I just haven't thought of an idea yet. I'll bring it back, I promise. Top 10 lists, I did release some top 10 lists this month, which are the top 20 battle themes from Final Fantasy 14. Conquest, oh, that's a name I forgot to mention, Conquest! Sorry, I totally forgot to mention that name at the beginning. Conquest, Pate, and Evan. You guys were awesome, and you've been super supportive, and on the videos, very supportive, and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much. Man, I feel really bad. I almost left them out of the video. Thank you, guys. You guys have been awesome. I think that's it for my side projects. I think that's it. So I've got, you've got Mo, who's been busting his butt editing. We're coming down to the wire on the first pass. He's about halfway done. So my goal is to catch up to him, get completed, and then after that there's going to be a couple other passes of editing before the book is finally ready. Now, here's the thing. It's not, editing takes time. So the final version might still take a while to show up. I am releasing the second drafts as they come out. And those are also still subject to change. Those are going to be tweaked. So be patient with me. It does take time. But I will try to keep things moving along as fast as I possibly can. But, I have other obligations. I have a daughter to take care of. I have a life. And Mo has a life too, by the way. Mo has a life and a very busy schedule. He just added a new project to his plate. Please toddle on over to his channel to see what it is. It's super exciting. And he had told me a little bit about it, like, beforehand. I didn't want to say anything, of course, not to spoil it. He told me not to ruin it, to ruin the surprise. But I've known about this kind of idea for a little bit now, and it's super much... Oh, man. Go look. He'll tell you in detail. He'll do a lot better job than I'm doing right now. But suffice to say, it's an awesome project, and I'm looking forward to the results, Mo. And, geez... I think that's it. I think that's it for now. This is a little bit weird. I know it's kind of an off-the-ball type of recording. I want to do something... I was going to originally do a whole video in front of the tree, but I kind of, ran out of time, and there was other things going on, and stuff like that. So I hope this little me talking to a microphone and pretty pictures playing satisfied what you were looking for. And, leave me feedback. If there's more you want from me, I'm happy to try and accommodate. I want to entertain you guys. So if there's anything you'd like to know about me or anything you want me to start doing for you guys, just leave feedback. Let me know. Other than that, thank you guys so much, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.